Hello. Hey, Sam. I'm going to go ahead and give you co-hosting privileges. I see that you're one of the presenters for today. I'm Zach. I'm kind of covering for Micah and Q.
Awesome. How happy to be here. Thanks for the privileges and thanks for covering.
Yeah.
Zach, are you going to, I'm going to be doing my own slides and sharing my own screen unless there's an issue.
Yeah, I don't have any issue. I was actually about to ask you that if you wanted to host your own. So.
Okay. I think I will. Sometimes I have issues with just my external monitor being, well, I think it'll be fine, but can I hand it off to you if it goes poorly?
Yeah. I have everyone's slides, so I have all the presenters today. So I got yours too.
All right, cool. Just good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to just get myself ready to go here, and I'll be back on in a minute, or I'll be on, but I'll turn myself on. Oh, excuse me. Is there a speaker list? I'm trying to remember if I got one already.
I do have one. So Sam, you're going at around 8 to 8:10. We have additional speakers: Camilla Rice, Mark Masters, and Peggy Kachevas.
Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here, but I might just mute for a while.
Yeah, no problem. Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Hello. I am covering for Micah and Q today. So I'm going to go ahead and give you co-hosting privileges as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you, are you going to be hosting your own slides or should I host it?
Yeah, whatever works. I have them pulled up, so I'm happy to share. Or yeah.
Yeah. So for your own pacing, I'll let you go ahead and control that.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.
We'll avoid the next slide, please.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to let in David. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm not Micah. I'm actually subbing for him today. So. All
I
right.
see a Peggy and I see a Zachary.
Yep. Yeah, I'm subbing for Micah today. He's out sick, so.
Awesome.
I hope he feels better. I know he's been out for a while, right?
Yeah, he's recovering now, but he still wasn't well enough to host today. So I'm just covering for him.
No worries.
All right, we're still missing a couple of our speakers. So we have Sam today, we have you two, Peggy, and we are still missing Mark Masters and Camilla Rice. Yeah, we'll get started here in a few. We still have a couple people rolling in. All right, I'll wait about a minute longer, and then we'll get started. Hopefully, other people will be rolling in over the time that we're here.
See a nice piano in the background at Sam's place.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess while we're waiting, do you play often, Sam?
I do. I'm not like classically trained, but I've played for many years, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So it's actually it's a tech-enabled piano. I installed a bunch of sensors in the keys, so you can hook it up to your computer and record what you play if you want to.
Oh, that's very cool. So you modified it yourself?
Yeah, I bought a 88 key keyboard and installed the sensor for the keyboard underneath the keys.
All right. Here's our two other speakers coming in now. Hello, you two.
Hey, can you hear me? This is Mark.
Yep, I hear you.
Hey, is it okay to stop the recording during my presentation?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Why would we?
Are you going to be distributing it afterwards?
Yeah, this usually goes out to fairly large.
Yeah. So I get paid to do this material, and I don't want it available for free. Sorry
Okay.
that I didn't bring this up earlier. I'm getting asked right now for consent to be recorded, and I don't know what you want to do about that.
Is there
Do you want to
anything
put me up
that's
last and then you can trim me out, or put me up first and you can trim me out before you distribute
I can't
it?
pause the recording. But I do want to make sure that you're
I can
in the
skip
recording.
it if you want me to come back another time and we can figure it out.
Hey Zachary, I see pause and stop recording buttons on my screen.
Yeah, I do too. So, do you have anything that you can do like that still could be part of the recording content? I can just hit the pause. Do you have anything like that, Mark?
Sorry, the first part of it cut up. Wait, can you say that again?
Yeah, I was asking, is there anything that you can present, that can still be recorded? And then what I could do is I could pause when we get to a point where.
Sure, I can do like the
cut stuff
intro
out.
slide and just say, hey, everybody, we're going to pause the recording. If you're interested in seeing the rest of it, if you're watching this online in the future and you want to see the rest of it, contact me here or something like that. Does that work?
Yeah, I guess that can work.
Okay.
I'm
Terrific.
subbing for right now, so I'm not exactly sure how Q or Michael would normally resolve this. So.
Oh, got it.
What
Sorry
I'll do
about
right
that.
now as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I just consented to be recorded, but with the understanding that you'll pause the recording during the majority of it. I'll email Q right now and see if he can reach out to me, and we'll try and figure it out. I think I have his phone number
Yeah,
too.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm making you a co-host, so you'll have the ability to pause when you're comfortable or when you have to. All right.
Oh, rad. Okay, cool. Perfect. And then just somebody remind me to resume the recording if I forget when I'm done.
I'll remember.
Awesome.
I'll remember.
Cool.
Don't worry.
Thanks.
Okay. I think we have all of our presenters here now, though, finally. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started. So I'm gonna go ahead and share screen here. All right, so first of all, welcome everybody to April's Detroit New Tech meeting. I'm Zach. I'll be kind of subbing in for Micah. He's out sick right now, but he's currently recovering. What I'm going to do first is kind of talk about Detroit New Tech, just go over some of the basics, and then introduce myself a little bit more formally, because I know most of you guys don't know who I am. And then we'll jump over into the schedule, and we'll introduce the other speakers. So first of all, Detroit New Tech has been founded in 2010. It was founded after Tan, one of the actual hosts, saw that we didn't really have anything similar to Ann Arbor New Tech here in the Detroit area. And so this was founded as kind of like a sister organization from then. Looks like we got somebody new coming in. So currently we have over 2,400 members, and Detroit New Tech is aiming to offer networking resources for Detroit and Southeast Michigan entrepreneurs and startups. So we try to encourage and highlight entrepreneurial startups in the region, and we do that by providing collaboration, by providing meaningful events to the community, and try to act as like a resource for startups and speakers here to network with your next like co-founder or other supporter. So I'm going to go right into who I am. I'm Zachary Persky. I'm currently subbing in for Micah and Q. So pardon my sort of inexperience with leading you guys here. I work specifically with Accelerate Kid and the Accelerate for Kids Foundation. I have many hats within these two organizations. I'm a senior instructor. I'm a trainer for new hires. I'm also a coach and mentor for our various groups. On the left here is actually our FL team that I led to the state championship this year. So what I do is I teach various STEM and art technologies on a weekly basis through both our on-site locations at Accelerate Kid and through partnerships that we lead with different schools within the Southeast Michigan area. Currently, I'm teaching in Oxford Virtual Academy and at Our Lady Queen of Martyrs schools, like in person. So I am a teacher in that respect as well. I also help design and teach new curriculum. So recently I've been working with youth through the Accelerate for Kids Foundation, teaching things like AI machine learning. And I've helped design the curriculum for that. I train new staff on these different technologies. Usually we're taking in graduates to college students, and we're really training them up on all these different types of technology. So if they started off with coding, we're teaching them how to do game design, art, and other fields such as robotics. I also assist in the hiring process as well for our company, Accelerate Kid. So personal hobbies, going into that, a little bit more about me. When I'm not working with these two groups, do a lot of gaming, a lot of reading, and riding motorcycles. So that's more of my casual side. So why do I work with these two groups? I enjoyed working with students and helping them grow, and it helps me grow as well. Working with these two foundation, with the Accelerate for Kids Foundation, which is a nonprofit, and our for-profit branch, I've learned all sorts of different technologies, such as machine learning, dived more into the game development side of things myself, and got more experience with some of the coding languages I haven't really learned in college. That's enough about myself, though. I'm going to go over the agenda for today. So we're initially starting off with the introductions. We're kind of going over a little bit. Our first guest speaker is going to be Peggy. I'll let you introduce yourself, Peggy.
Okay. Well, thanks, Zachary. My name's Peggy Kachevas. I'm the Pathway Program Director at TechElevator for the national campus, which also includes the Detroit campus as well. So nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Peggy. We also have Mark Masters.
Hi, everybody. I'm joining from Colorado today. I'm going to be talking about the health benefits of laughter. I'm super psyched to be here, and I can't wait to make some folks laugh. Make sure you get those cameras on and mics on when I'm presenting so I can see those smiles and hear those laughs.
All right. Thank you, Mark. We have Camilla Rice.
Hi, I'm Camilla Rice. I am actually a dual. I do engineering for Ford, and I also have my own company, Green Olive Soaps. for organic and vegan skincare. And I'll talk more about why that came into to be. And it's great to be here tonight with you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Camilla. And finally, last but not least, Sam.
Hey everybody, my name's Sam. I'm working on a new SaaS B2B product called Shuffleboard, which is a way to make meetings not terrible at work. And I'm excited to show you.
All right, thank you, Sam. So I'm going to go right into things here. Well, actually, I can't. I have to talk about the sponsors first. All right, so first of all, I have to give our special thanks to our sponsors, TechTown Detroit. This is where we would normally be hosting our meetings, but we're currently online for many reasons here. The Accelerate for Kids Foundation and the Accelerate Kid LLC. We are also looking for new sponsors, and it's an opportunity to get exposure to 2,000 plus members. So I guess before we really dive into everyone's presentations, one thing that we like to do is to help connect yourself to other, to potentially new people, like new co-founders, new hires, anybody that you're looking for. It could be like you're looking for a programmer or anything like that. So what we would like you guys to do is provide your name, any kind of contact info, links to social media, what organizations that you're working with, and anything that you can offer to the community, and how can this community, Detroit New Tech, help you with your stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something similar here. So I want you guys to all kind of like do it as like one large blob here. I'm going to kind of lead by example here. So all right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my way of doing it. So just go ahead and share these 5 things with us if you can. I'll give us a minute or two here. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to let that keep rolling through. And Peggy, I think we're almost ready. Yep.
Awesome. All right, good.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop my presentation now, and I'll let you go ahead and take over.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So is it okay to go ahead and share my screen?
Yep.
Okay, which as a co-host, I should be able to do that.
Mhm.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Can you see this okay?
Yep.
Yay. Okay, good. Well, hello, everyone. This is my first time here, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be speaking with all of you and for you to learn a little bit about myself, for me to learn a little bit about you as professionals and your respective industries, and for you to know a little bit about TechElevator, which is the organization that I'm a part of. We're higher ed, or I should say like an adult educational institution. We're headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio, but we do have a campus in Detroit. For those in Detroit, you may actually know of TechElevator and its location. We're located in Techtown, actually. I saw that one of the sponsors, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're ever in the area, you'll see us, which right now we're all remote anyway, so no one would be there to begin with, but but usually, yes, it's filled with staff members and whatnot. But anyway, yes, we are an intensive educational provider helping individuals and companies acquire in-demand technology skills for the modern workforce. So through our 14-week full-time coding bootcamp, we teach students with a variety of backgrounds. We get students from unique industries and backgrounds that they come from to become software developers while helping them build necessary career readiness skills, like the soft skill side, through the Pathway program, which is what I manage. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So the end goal of attending TechElevator is to get a job, of course, in software development. And they go through a lot of experiences in order to get to that. So before I get into the nitty gritty of things, I want to formally introduce myself, of course, and kind of give you some context as to who I am and my background. So I'm actually based in Cleveland, but I was in Detroit literally 2 days ago. So I'm in Detroit pretty often, and I actually really like it there too, I realized. But I am the Pathway Program Director, like as mentioned, specifically for the national campus. I'll talk about our campuses in a minute and where the national campus fits into that. But our Detroit campus is kind of combined right now with the national campus because we're all remote. So I get a lot of Detroit individuals who come through TechElevator, and I'm really happy to work with them. But of course, I work with students from around the country. So if we've had students in all 4 time zones, not Hawaii or Alaska just yet, they feel like getting up really early for Eastern Standard Time, then we'll welcome them. But within what I do specifically for TechElevator, which is the Pathway program, as I mentioned, I teach students career development and career readiness content, like how to write a technical resume, how to interview, how to network, how to land a job, right? All these things that seem kind of daunting to many, but through this program, you kind of learn that alongside the full stack Java or .NET development skills that they'll acquire. So my personal background, I come from recruiting and sales as my background for large enterprise level companies within the IT staffing space. I was actually laid off at the height of the pandemic when everything was shutting down back April 2020 time. And so that was obviously frustrating, the frustrations that you feel from a layoff. But my motto is like, everything happens for a reason. And so I came across this opportunity, which I was really, really lucky and fortunate to find it. I actually used to talk to TechElevator students as a recruiter in my prior career. And I'm like, wow, these students are pretty sharp. And now I'm on the other side of things, teaching them, coaching them how to find jobs and all that. So it's really exciting. But that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And I want to jump into the program, and I'll talk to you about what TechElevator is and just kind of the boot camp itself. So we were founded in 2015. Actually, boot camps have been around since 2011. So we realized boot camps are sprouting up on the East Coast, West Coast, nothing really in the Midwest. TechElevator comes into the picture in Cleveland, Ohio, is where we are headquartered. And we are an intensive 14-week coding boot camp. Again, helping individuals acquire in-demand tech skills. And so, I talked earlier about the different skill sets or careers they come from. We have people coming from nursing and teaching and marketing backgrounds that have this passion for problem solving and logical thinking. And now they're taking it to the next level and pursuing, again, a long-term career in software development. And not even sometimes software development, they could go into quality assurance analysis or business analysis, data engineering, what have you. So anything really in the tech space on the development side. But our mission is to elevate people, companies, and communities. We exist to be the connection many of our students need, whether they're starting a new career, upskilling, or completely changing careers altogether. So we basically believe that, smart people in our communities can fulfill their potential. All they need is valuable skills and the resources to do so, and we provide all the rest. So just to give you some demographics on our students, on average, 2/3 of our students hold a bachelor's degree or higher. So they're coming from a pretty well-educated background, about 32 years old, average age. So not necessarily right out of college. They have that prior experience coming into this. But again, they're serious about their career change and commitment. They've quit their jobs to be here. No one here is working because this is I say 40 hours a week, but they are putting in well into 60 to 70 hours. So, for those that are like, I can work a part-time job, I'm like, okay, I can't force you to quit your job. But then they realize week one, all right, this can't happen. I have to quit my job. But again, we're really measuring that aptitude and attitude side in order to be there. What we deem as successful characteristics of a software developer in order for them to be admitted into TechElevator. There's a whole process into that. So that's, again, just a little bit brief overview. And to break down from a geographical standpoint, so again, founded in Cleveland, where number one you'll see there. Number two is Columbus. That was our second campus. Our third campus in Ohio is Cincinnati. We also have in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia. And then, of course, we have our digital communities. I count Detroit right now. I mean, Detroit has a physical campus, absolutely, but they're considered a digital community right now because they're tied into the national campus. So our national campus is where I am. Basically, if a student doesn't fall within the 5 blue dots that you see there, they fall under my campus. So I have students from basically 48 other states, so that you can tell how interesting that gets. But it's really cool to meet people from around the country. And then the green dots are the digital communities, as mentioned, the TE communities. So we have Detroit, we have Chicago, we have Charlotte, and our newest one is Dallas. So we're now heading down to the south and hopefully to the west eventually. So that's a little bit about us, and we have over 1,700 alumni since 2015 in various parts of the country, and that's growing rapidly. So now to briefly go over just a little bit of the curriculum so you kind of see what we teach on a day-to-day basis, right? So this is live and immersive and full-time. These aren't recordings that, in college you go back and you watch them. This is live, just like we are here in a Zoom meeting right now. They log in 9 a.m. Eastern and they sit through class. So this is, again, through the 14 weeks, they're putting about 700 to 800 hours of development time. And they're learning either Java or .NET as core languages, depending on the campus. Campuses offer different ones. But I always tell people they're very similar. It's almost like learning American English versus English from the UK. There's some differences, but at the end of the day, it's still English and you can pretty much understand it. But then at the end of the day, what they're really learning to be are full stack code ready developers, understanding the foundation of object-oriented programming, which I won't go into the weeds of because that goes over my head as well. I'm not a technical person, but I can talk a little bit about the lingo. And then through the pathway side, which is my side, connecting them with companies in the area that are looking for entry-level developers and really understanding that career readiness side. So how we teach on a daily cadence, again, going through daily lecture. Every single morning they go through lecture alongside group work, individual support, and the career prep and guidance, which comes in the afternoon. Pathway is in the afternoon. And really what we try to hit home are a lot of things like the proprietary methods and tools that we teach them that are unique to TechElevator. We teach basically a new concept every single day. When we say immersive, we say immersive. It's very accelerated. They learn a new concept in the morning They gather exercises, real life exercises and examples that they're applying the concepts they learned. And then they take a quiz after to make sure that they are retaining that information and seeing what they learn from. So again, with all of that in mind, we typically do, again, we are big on ratios here at TechElevator, so we don't want to over populate, I guess, the classroom size. We want it to be about 15 students per instructor. So we're really giving that individual support and making sure that every student is getting the necessary guidance and again, just that instruction that they need to really solidify their foundation in software development. These are the technologies that we teach. So the breakdown, this is a full stack development curriculum versus other programs that might teach just front end or back end, right? So again, we offer Java or .NET, and we found that with Java and .NET, they are the two of the most popular languages that we've seen in most job opportunities, which provides a good technical foundation. So that's why we've kind of are offering those two languages right now. But the three most important aspects of programming that we hit home, no matter the language they learn: functionality, back end, front end, and how they all work together, right? Building an application requires all three of those concepts, those sections. So after graduation, they have a foundation in all three, alongside many capstone projects that they do to really make sure that they're solidifying their foundation. So on the front end, you have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then of course, Java or C#, as we mentioned. And then on the back end, PostgreSQL or SQL Server and how SQL ties into that. And again, the curriculum runs parallel with the pathway program in the afternoon. So again, not getting into the weeds of this, just giving you a high level overview of the tech stack that we teach. And then with the pathway program, this is basically my expertise here. Again, it is more of the career development side of things. So we want our students to be well, not expert, but really good entry-level software developers, right? Good foundation in object-oriented programming. However, we here teach that every developer is a two-sided coin. Yes, we want you to have the technical acumen. We want you to have the tech skills and know how to program and develop sound applications. But on the other side, are you a good communicator? Are you a good networker? Can you interview? Can you land a job? You can't have one or the other. You need to have both. So with the pathway program, we're teaching more so of, again, that team collaboration, that soft skill side, more of that career development side. So this breaks down into about 30 sessions per cohort. We have 3 cohorts, actually, I should have mentioned, in a year. So 3 cohorts. Right now, we're in the middle of our spring cohort. We do a summer cohort and then a fall cohort as well. Just wanted to mention that as well. And then, of course, alongside one-on-one career coaching, we bring in a lot of volunteers and mentors. We do a lot of panels here with industry experts. If you ever wanted to be a panelist and you're in the tech field, we can definitely have you in here, kind of thing. We also have a hiring partner network of over 400 companies that have extended an offer to one of our students. And that number is growing, especially with our national campus. That's going to just keep growing as we don't really have a geographic limit. And then again, that mentor number is that 200 is definitely low. I know we have more than 200 mentors and volunteers that come in and do mock interviews and panels and everything else. So this is the pathway program. Like I said, just a little bit of that, what separates us as a program, more of that career transformation piece. And then finally, just want to touch on the SIR results that we report every single year. So we believe in transparency, all that stuff I just mentioned, right? It's nice, it sounds great, but where's the accountability, right? Where's the transparency? We have a 95% graduation rate, a 92% job placement rate, and actually this is consistent with COVID. Even in the middle of a pandemic, we still have a consistent over 90% job placement rate. So again, what we're teaching, we believe is working. Our students go from an average of making $30,000 a year, somewhere in that ballpark range, to now making $60,000, doubling their salary, which there in itself, I think is worth it. But most of them obviously aren't here for the money. They're here because this is something they want to pursue. And so again, that the great increase of over $20,000 right there. But we report all of these results to SIR, which is the Council on Integrity and Results Reporting. That's a third-party auditor that we send our results into, and they validate all of that. They audit it. And so if you were ever curious as to how we're doing, and if you ever were looking into a boot camp, if they're not on SIR, that might raise a red flag. But if they are, check them out, and they probably have some good things going. So, but again, this is just a little bit of who we are, and try to keep it short and sweet, Zachary, because I know we have a lineup here, but happy to take any questions if there are any.
Yeah, let's keep the questions, within 4 minutes or so.
Yeah. I'll stop sharing.
So does anyone have questions for Peggy here?
And if nothing here, I put my email address into the chat, so feel free to message me at any time. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
Awesome.
if no one else has any questions, I have a question for you. So
Okay, yeah.
So I was wondering, is like the different courses that you guys are teaching like accredited in any way?
Yeah, so accredited in terms of like SIR, or how do you mean like accredited? Just the curriculum itself?
Yeah, like the curriculum itself, is it like accredited? Is there any like could you take like your course and then go to like, if you were to like transfer to like a new university, would that count for anything?
I see, like in terms of credits and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so just in terms of obtaining a technical certification. So this is like a technical training boot camp, and you receive a certification. It's not counted towards like credits or anything like that, towards any upper education or like other university or college or anything like that. This is recognized as a certification itself from a unique educational institution. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate the question. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Anyone
no problem,
else?
Peggy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. If we don't have any other questions, just like Peggy said, she'll put her email in the chat. So that way, if there's anyone watching the recording, you guys can reach out to Peggy as well that way. All right. And Mark, just let me know. I'll remember to hit the pause for you. I can't hear you right now. It might be a small audio
Here we
issue.
go, everybody. First time on a Zoom call for me. Sorry about that. I'll take care of the pause. And Zach, hey, everybody out there on the internet watching this in the future, you're time travelers. You are just about, I'm going to give a talk about laughter and health. And I do this for small business bureaus and Rotary clubs and political lobbying groups all over the country. I'm excited to do it in Detroit tonight, but I'm going to pause the recording, and you future viewers, we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, right? Okay, hey, time travelers, you're back. Hey, future internet viewers, so excited. You missed some amazing content. If you're interested in it, you can find me on the internet probably. Send me a note. It goes right to my phone. And I got about 2 minutes for questions if anybody wants to ask me anything, and I'll put some stuff in the Zoom chat. You don't have to be shy. You can ask anything.
Mark, is there anything that somebody who's just watching comedy on TV would not know about the life of a comedian that you haven't shared with us already?
About the what community? Sorry?
Just the life of a comedian on the road. What's something surprising that might surprise us?
Yikes. I think it's probably surprising to a regular business person that I would drive to Chicago from Denver for a couple of beer coupons to perform on a show. It's hilariously unprofitable to be a comedian at my stage in the development of a comic. I think that's kind of interesting to a lot of people. I mean, you know, the Peggy was talking about students learning coding. I'm sure they're going to do work for free to get experience. It's a very similar thing. I need to apprentice and get funnier. I think another thing that's interesting is how jokes travel, meaning a joke might do really well in one room, but not well in another room. I'll give you an example from that Chicago road trip last 2 summers ago now. I had a great bit about trail running, which was doing really well in Colorado. Very funny. I am driving to Chicago. I stop in Iowa and do a show. Nobody laughs at the trail running thing. It's like, I don't know, Midwesterners don't run, or I don't know what's going on. They just can't relate to it. And I had a Taco Bell bit that was terrible in Colorado, but it did great in Iowa. And then when I got to Chicago, I was on a bigger show and I just didn't do the trail running bit. I did the Taco Bell bit and it crushed. So jokes do differently in different rooms, different geographic areas. I told a joke once with a punchline where the punchline was HBO, but I told it in Canada. And it turns out they don't have HBO in Canada. You guys are close to Canada. Maybe some of you know that. They have HBO. It just has a different name. I forget now what it was. But you got to do your research if you're going to travel to other countries and do comedy. So that was a good question. I don't know who that was. And did I scare away? Sam disappeared from. Oh no, there he is. Okay, good. You like flipped off my little view, Sam, and so I was worried that you like hung up or something. But
A little internet issue, but I was right back.
Okay.
All right.
Any other questions? I've got like 1 minute.
Yeah, I do have a question as well. I was wondering, like, what do you do for your online presence?
Oh, great question. Here, I'm going to stop the sharing so I can see everybody's face. Okay, awesome. My online presence. So that's very interesting. I'm unusual. I wouldn't say anti-Facebook, but I'm not on Facebook or Instagram. That's a very long conversation. I am on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I passed 200 subscribers today on YouTube. YouTube.com/MarkMastersComedy. If you want to bump up my subscriber count, I'd love that. And I do a lot of email marketing. My primary presence is my website, markmasters.co as in Colorado, or co as in cholera if you're not a good speller. Got to go out on a laugh, Zach. I had to do it.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
All right. Thank you, everybody. It's been a joy. I love it.
All right. Thank you, Mark. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. So next up, we have Camilla.
Okay, so I'm not good with the screen sharing. I'm gonna try it.
All right. I'm going to let you go.
How's that?
Don't see anything yet.
No. Oh, let's see. I'm not good with this. Right
If you need any assistance, I can. I have everything that was sent my way.
How about now?
Yep, I can see it.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay. So, hi. My name is Camilla Rice, and I didn't have a lot of slides because I wanted to more so talk about how the community, how I can help the community, and how you can help me. So, but I'll tell a little bit about my background. So I am actually a manufacturing systems engineer. Right now I work for Ford in modular architecture. So anything like engine transmissions, PCMs, I love and adore. And I actually got into entrepreneurship because of my son. When he was born, he had a severe case of eczema, and he's brown complexion, but his skin looked gray. And his dead skin that naturally should fall off was not. And so his doctor was recommending all these different creams and things, but a lot of it had like warnings and it could affect his growth, and it just really freaked me out. So I have a girlfriend who's a chemist, and she and I have this conversation, and she said, just make your own soap. And I thought she was insane because who would make their own soap? But she ended up buying me a kit. And from that point on, I became addicted to soap making. So she helped me actually create a formula that was vegan, it was organic, it was friendly to his skin, and it would actually have additives in the soap like oatmeal and things that's natural that would help knock off his dead skin. So his skin went from looking very harsh to being beautiful and nice and gorgeous the way it is today. So that's where Green Olive Soaps was created. I had started creating so many soaps because I became addicted. I'm okay now though. But I became addicted to soap making that I needed to sell them, or I was giving them away, giving them to homeless shelters. That's a big passion of like mine. And I had a lady ask me for an order once, just, you know, from my son's school. And from her pricing that she was offering, I was like, oh, wait a minute, stop and pause. So it cost me, being an engineer, I've been in a lot of different places. So I've been a buyer for convertible tops. I've also been a supervisor. I have been in finance. I have done cost optimization. So all those jobs, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades in my engineering field, has actually helped me significantly with my company because I was able to leverage all those skill sets. So long story short, I turned from just selling things from my, like at my kids' school, to being in a magazine, and then my company got featured on Fox 2 and then USA Today. They kind of like blew up, sort of, and I wasn't really prepared for it. So I was like, wait a minute, I'm not an entrepreneur, man. I'm really an engineer. So I took a lot of classes in marketing and entrepreneurship, business. That's completely different from my engineering background, to see if I would take this to the next level. And I decided to actually do it. And that's where Green Olive Soaps is created today. So where I venture mainly in businesses is I do a ton of gift sets. I think my first year, I probably did like 100, maybe to 200 gift sets. And then last year I did almost 2,000 for businesses and companies and stuff. So my eczema soaps is really popular. That's like my #1 sellers. And then my gift sets. And then I also make soaps out of like into cakes. I do cupcakes. I do cars. I don't know why. I just like making soap into different objects. So all those things actually has like mango butter, it has shea butter, it has I have a dancing mud bar. So it looks pretty, and I tell people it's gorgeous, but please use it because it's great for your skin as well. So what I'm looking for from the community is actually marketing help. So I used to have a YouTube channel for natural hair. So I know how to run a YouTube channel, but that was many years ago. So I'm looking for more up-to-date help on marketing for my socials. I am on like Facebook and Instagram. I too do not like those platforms, but I make a ton of sales off of Facebook. So for me to get off would be detrimental. And then I'm looking, if you guys ever wanted any kind of gift sets or any kind of soaps, that you would think of me. So my website is greenolivesoaps.com. And on my social media, it's the same thing, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. My daughter has me TikToking. She's 14. And I think she's crazy, but she has me TikToking now. The handle is the same, Green Olive Soaps. So I'm a fast talker. I'm gonna give you some free time, and I'm open to any questions. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see your faces.
All right. So if there's no questions initially, I've got
Yeah,
a couple.
I do have a question. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just what do you have a variety of products or just one product? What how does that work?
So let me answer your question real quick. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, great. I'm gonna get good with this now, babe. Yes. So I do have a variety of products. So like this right here in the corner, this is a truffle gift set. Those are all soaps that shaped like truffles that you can eat. In the middle of this thing, it looks like ice cream. Those are bubble bars. So you add those underwater and it creates great bubbles for your bath. I also have shower steamers, which is located here. I have salt bars. I have mud bars for your face. I get a lot of questions from men saying, do you have anything that's like masculine? And I do have bars. Everything that I have, men can use as well. But if you're looking for like a charcoal bar, I have that. I have a Fahrenheit bar that's coming out in like a month or so, near a month and a half for Father's Day. I have a variety of things. I have things for the shower, things for your bath. I have bathing salts. And then if you wanted to create something, because I do a lot of things right now, it's bridal season. So I have like mini cupcakes. I have an order that I'm creating like bath sauce. It looks like sand with red gems in it. So I do all kinds of fun things for people and businesses. So yes, to answer your question.
All right, yeah, thank you.
And if you go to my site, if you go here, shop body care, here's all the tabulations.
Okay.
So you can kind of like see what you're looking for. And you can also do a search too on my site right here if you're looking for like eczema or oily skin. See, I have bars that's for everyone. So
All right.
some things have sold out, but they'll be replaced with others.
Camilla, some of those just look beautiful and delicious. I definitely would try to eat them, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was curious if you, I mean, the work that you were talking about before you're doing soap, it on its surface seems so different. Engineering work is highly technical. Do you have any sort of lessons learned that crossed over when you're doing when you moved to doing soap and consumer work?
I did. So a lot of engineers tend to be introverted. I think that I'm an engineer who's kind of like a mixture of both. So the socialization part definitely helped me out a lot. In my engineering work, I tend to be very focused and kind of like, what's a nice way of putting it? I love a challenge, but I like to win. So being in this business and not really like having to learn a lot of the marketing and how things work, it just kind of challenged me more. And then as far as like cost optimization, I knew a lot of soapers once I got into that field, and I asked them, how'd you set your price? And a lot of people just choose a price. They didn't count like their overhead. If you was making it from your house, you still have overhead costs, manufacturing costs, and you need to pay yourself. So a lot of people wasn't doing that. So when I built my cost model, because I had that knowledge, I actually helped some of them build a cost model so they can make sure that they're getting paid right. Although they're in the same field, I'm not a competitive person with other people like that. I feel like your blessing is yours and mine is mine. I'm competitive more so just with myself and challenging myself more. So it definitely did help. And actually quite a few of my coworkers purchased from me too, especially those vehicles. So these are just some of the cupcake soaps.
Mm-hmm. They look really delicious too, I have to agree.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I have a question as well. So I've heard through Q that you've been in business for around 10 years or so. I wanted to ask, like, how have you scaled to maintain being so successful here?
Oh, I don't know where he got 10 years from. No.
No?
No. I don't know if he got confused with my engineering work, but I've been an engineer for over 20 years. And then I've been in business since, I guess, technically since 2017.
Okay.
So I'm fairly new. I didn't even take my business seriously in 2017 because I was still thinking of more of a hobby. But people kept ordering. Like I would get requests. I'm like, I don't have time to make it. And I'm like, well, when you do, I want this. I was like, what are you doing? So it really just kind of threw me off a little bit. It wasn't until 2018 when a guy in my area, he's a PR guy, he saw my article for one of the charities, and he said that he wanted to help me grow my business. I'm like, well, I'm not sure there is a business. And we started talking and took it from like there. So seriously, I've been taking it for about the last 3 years.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any further questions from myself. I actually, like Sam, your question actually filled out one of my questions I had about like, how did your engineering engineering background help with this. It's like, honestly, this is pretty impressive too. Like these designs, like how do you get like inspiration for this?
Honestly, I like to work with colors and patterns. I used to do a lot of like quality tool sets from one of the companies that I used to work for, and I like how like those kind of blended. So I've always like working with different patterns. I find that in my technical work, I am more rigid, and I think that this kind of makes me be more creative. Like I get to not worry about everything being so perfect. You know, if I make a dollar mistake on this, it's not that big of a deal. Versus if I make a mistake, you know, at work, that would be a little bit different. So yeah, but I have, my business has grown a lot to the point where I have scaled down on my engineering work. So right now I work like, I think 4 days a week, and I've already requested to work 3 days a week. At this point, they can afford for me to go yet because of the type of engineering work that I do. But that's my goal, is to eventually work it down so I can have more time to grow it. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Mark on that too.
what?
Oh, he was saying, he's typing in the chat, these stuffs are so cool, but they're making him so hungry too.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. There I go. Cool. I worked it out. I figured it out.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
So next up is going to be Sam. So Sam, you have, actually, I was about to say you had about a minute, but now it's 8 o'clock. So
All right, right on the dot.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna share my screen here. And let me hit present. Is it working?
Yep, I can see it.
All right, everybody. My name's Sam. I think, as I mentioned, I'm working on a new software company. And the software company is selling a web app to other companies. It's built around this process that I've built and learned. I discovered, I would say, when I was working as a consultant and when I was working as a director of design in a software company. And it's built to solve a very specific problem, which is that often when you are working, excuse me, in a company, sometimes there's really obvious questions like, you know, how do we add up these numbers? Or should we do something yes or no? But sometimes you'll get really fuzzy questions like, what should our brand be? Or what should our messaging be? Or how should we position ourselves? Or how should we work on our culture as a company? Or what are the kinds of people we want to hire? These kind of just fuzzy questions. And I find there's sort of like two ways that people answer these questions. One thing they do is some executive somewhere just uses the power that they have and just picks something, and everybody else is like, oh, that's our company culture. Oh, that's our brand. All right, fine. Or another thing they do is they'll just talk to every single person in the company, and then it drags on and it becomes a sort of design by committee thing. And then nobody's ever happy. And then it turns out not to be very good either. And so in a consultant situation, basically what you do when you have that problem is you pick like a diverse group of people from around the organization. Not everybody, but like a representative group. You bring them all into a room. You give them a bunch of Post-its and sticky notes. And then you give them exactly like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, something time bound. And you ask them a series of questions. If our brand was a person, what real person would they be? If our brand was a cartoon character, what personality attributes would our brand have? Would our brand be A, B, or C? And then you just have them generate as many answers as you can to that question. And then once everybody sees everybody else's answers, they can argue about what they like best. You have them all kind of vote and narrow the choices down to a single answer. So for example, if it was a brand, somebody might say it should be fun, it should be cheerful, and somebody would say it should be foreboding. Well, fun and cheerful maybe get combined into the same sticky note, and nobody would vote for foreboding. They'd say, we're gonna go with fun and cheerful. And if you do this, basically you get really good decisions from your company on these big fuzzy answers. And not only that, but everybody feels included because everybody was included, or a representative group of people were actually included. And then the company makes better decisions. And everybody feels better about it because everybody had their voice heard. And that's pretty important. But it also is really quick. You don't have to spend hours or days or weeks making big, long decisions. You just bring everybody into a meeting and you run this session, and then you get the answer. And this has been happening for forever. Design consultants do this. Agile software companies and people do this. They do these Post-it notes on the wall. And it's been happening since, the dawn of, I don't know, modern knowledge work or something. But obviously it doesn't work in remote work. And you have to bring a bunch of Post-its and you have to have a giant wall. And the worst possible part of it, if anybody's ever run these sessions, is that you have to take a picture of all the Post-it notes and then sit in front of Google Docs and type it all up and then share it out with everybody. And it doesn't look like the wall and you can't read their handwriting and they're falling off because the sticky thing doesn't work and it's just a pain. So if only there were a better way. You get the idea where this is going. So Shuffleboard, I mean, you can run these, by the way, on like virtual whiteboard things like Miro and Mural and Jamboard. It all works. But those are pretty confusing, especially if people have never really used software to like use them before. It's like this infinite world of like dragging stuff around. Shuffleboard is sort of like a combination between Google Slides, where you have one slide with one question and you move between the slides and everybody follows you. And sort of like a Kanban board, or if you've ever used Trello or something like that. When you go to a slide, everybody can type in their answers. It's on their phone. It's just a simple prompt. Only the facilitators can do the fancy things, but everybody sees the question and then can see the answers as they come in. It has a lot of features built in that are specifically for this process. It's not like an abstract, a general collaboration tool. It's for answering these kinds of questions. So for example, you can ask for votes from everybody, and the votes aren't going to be revealed until voting is done, unlike other tools, because that helps prevent groupthink and everybody just copying whatever the boss said that they like the best. You can combine answers, unlike Trello, by just dragging them together, because it's a very common thing here. There's built-in timers. And this is really helpful if you are a project manager or you're somebody who's trying to run sprint retrospectives with engineers. If you run these kinds of meetings, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, maybe you don't. But basically, if you're trying to get better answers from people at work, this process is something that works really well. And it's just a much easier way to go about it and get it done. So I'll give you just a quick thoughts on what's going on with me. This is some of the prompts I got from Detroit New Tech. Basically, I built a product and it's live. I have customers. I'm getting probably, I don't know, $500 a month off of this right now. I launched in December. So it's making some money, but I'm definitely not going to be quitting my consulting work full time or only doing this anytime soon. I'm trying to basically figure out how to build my marketing strategy, as many of you are. And so this is all marketing. It's very specific to software that you're selling to companies. But a lot of the work is product-led virality, basically meaning so that if you use a product, anybody who participated gets information about those boards and reports about the boards and exports, and you continue to keep those people engaged. My pricing is terrible. I got to fix it. It's a little better than when I made these slides. Working with a lot of partnerships. I have a couple quotes from a couple authors who have been endorsing the product, which I'm excited to share and use. And then I'm testing my sales video content and a bunch of other technology stuff that might be a little boring, but this is just sort of like a glimpse into the marketing plan that I'm putting together right now. Some other fun things. I'm a consultant. I do user experience design for software startups. So this has been self-funded. There's no venture backing here. I've talked to investors, but I don't think it really is necessary to take any venture money for this for me right now, because I'm able to sort of fund it with the work that I do. I recorded the first 100 days of me working on this live on YouTube. So if you want to see some really, really awkward YouTube videos with somebody just trying to figure out how to make a company, they are unedited, because if I had more time, I would have written you a shorter letter kind of thing. I didn't edit them. I just put them up. So it's a lot of just me typing. And it launched publicly in December. I think I mentioned that. And it's about the number of customers, maybe a little more since I made these slides. The thing I'm looking for is intros to some customers. If you run meetings like this, if you know people who run meetings like this, if you are working with clients about trying to figure out how to strategize with them, if you are working with engineering teams or something like this, and you want like an engaging way to actually get their feedback and make them feel heard, people love it once they try it. It's free to try, and I'd love any intros to potential customers, and certainly any feedback on the application. But specifically people who run regular meetings, workshops, and who are trying to improve the way they work, trying to build better company culture, more inclusive company culture, better decision-making at their jobs. Those are folks I would love introductions to. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So I do have some questions for you, but I want to give the floor to anyone else that has questions first.
Could you envision this like at an annual team meeting, right? Like the team meetings that everyone gets together that one time and they go over like how the year went and like they post the questions or however they want to go about this. And it's almost like a safe space kind of for them to submit their answers, right? In that way, like virtually. Have you seen this in that type of environment yet?
You know, it's a really good point. First of all, I would like it to be a safe space. I'd also like it to be like I've heard recently somebody say, I think I saw, I was watching one of the, I was watching something Housewives with my girlfriend last night, and she said something about brave spaces. So I can't believe I'm about to reference the Housewives on this call. But it's a safe place, but it's a space that really allows you to add anything. And there's a lot of there's going to be anonymous features and things. So what the consequence of that is that if you're running a kind of a controlled session where you really want to kind of keep the narrative nice and tight, I wouldn't use this because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, there are some interactive tools called Mentimeter and some other tools that would really do poll everywhere is common. And what they do is they focus more on polling. It's sort of like an interactive version of Google Slides that has polls built in. This is very specific for workshops with brand strategy, difficult questions, questions like culture with a small group. And once you get over, 30 people on here or something, I mean, that's really the upper limit of its usefulness. It supports it fine, but you get so many answers that it's so much work to work through them that the format starts to suffer a little bit. So an intimate group, an engineering team, a single team, for example, or a representative sample from the company is probably best.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
All right, so my question is, how do you organize the groups using this app?
Tell me more, what do you mean by groups, Zach?
So I'm trying to imagine like how, like let's say these team members are working together. Is it like the organization strategy for getting everyone into like the answering the one question? On your system, how do you get everyone together on the same question? Do you guys like, when you sell this app, is it like you have to buy it individually and you sign up to like a specific room that's your company?
Yeah, I think, well, I'll talk a little bit about it and we'll see if I answer your question. I mean, one thing is that this is generally something people do live. So it's a replacement for these live working sessions. And the reason for that is that you can already use survey tools to do separate things. But the reason you do this is because when everybody adds their answers, usually there's a discussion period where they want to hash out answers and talk about that and create discussion. So the value here is not getting the data in the tool. It's the discussion you create with a group of people based off of their prompts. And everybody has a silent period where they contribute, but then there's a vocal period. And so these are generally run like in live sessions. You can just copy the link from the upper right and send it out to everybody. They don't need to log in to join. That's one of the favorite features people have. It's super easy to get anybody in. You just send them the link. They don't have to send an email or anything. They just type their name and they're in. And then, one of the issues, and this may or may not have been what you were asking, but there's a really big issue with workshop software, especially these things like Miro and other tools where people are panning around and getting lost in these virtual whiteboards. I don't know if anybody have ever used software like this, but people just get really, they don't know where they are and they just get really lost. So this works like Google Slides. When the facilitator hits the arrows in the bottom right-hand corner there and goes to the next question, everybody's answer changes over on their own devices. So the answers they add now go to that question. And the big benefit is that facilitators can obviously keep everybody focused on the point at hand instead of sending everybody out to get lost into the sea of software.
All right.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, kind of. I'm just trying to envision how this all kind of works together. Like, does everyone need to have the app in order for this to work? Or is it like someone is hosting it and then everyone else follows like a link on their phone? How does that part work?
I'm going to do something crazy right now. Let's do a live demo in 2 minutes. See if it works. I'll show you real quick. You don't need an app. You just need a link. I think I did a deploy recently, so hopefully it'll pop up. So this is my Shuffleboard. Hopefully you can still see my screen. I'll make a new board here. I'm going to make an empty board just to show you a demo. I'm going to create it here. I'm going to copy the link from the link that was copied, and I'm going to open chat. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. I'm going to paste that link in there. So if you guys go to that link, you should be able to join my board. And I'm going to say, any more questions? I had thought I didn't have time for a demo, but maybe I do. Is
Yes.
anybody able to click that link?
All right. Should I hit login with Google?
If you're signed in with Google already, then that's a fine thing to do. Otherwise, hit join without logging in.
Okay.
So I see Zach in here. So I'm going to type a sample question. I'm going to say, any more questions? I'm going to say, test 1, 2, 3. And Zach, see if you can go to the bottom of your screen and type in your own question or answer rather. Drop table. You're not the first. I've been tested. Somebody's testing my software. I had somebody, the name of one of the organizations sorted alphabetically in my list is end script tag and just a bunch of like, that's a technical joke for the coders. So not at the moment, no thank you. In a normal meeting, what I would do is I would drag this right on top of that and combine them together into a stack so that now you know that those are very similar. So I'm gonna hit the vote button here real quick and give you guys 30 seconds to vote. Now, I want to like everybody who's in the meeting to just click one or two of the questions here that you think are the most important. And actually, I'm going to give you 10 seconds because we're running low on time. 10 more seconds. All right, looks like time's up. I'm going to hit finish on vote mode. And wow, looks like test 1, 2, 3 got the most votes. 3 votes by far. If it didn't, I could hit this button and sort it to put the most votes at the top. So you can see how very quickly we've got a read on the room of what everybody's thinking, what's important to folks. Obviously, test 1, 2, 3 is on everybody's mind. Does that answer your question, Zach? Is that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you had like a product demo that you could show us, but this answered that question too.
Sure. Well, there's going to be more videos coming, and there's a product demo on the website, getshuffleboard.com. At the very top of that page, you can click demo, and you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, I really like the demo as well. So just like Peggy was saying, I think this was a really good demo.
Cool.
I don't have any further questions. Is there any other questions for Sam? All right. So I guess since we don't have any other questions for right now, Sam, is there anything that you're looking for us to help with at the moment? I think you said you were looking for like more marketing people, but is there anything else?
I think probably the main thing I'm looking for right now is some enterprise customers. So folks who are willing to try this in real organizations and who are willing to give it a shot. You know, I think the main thing I'm looking for is not so much like tons of revenue, but people who are willing to try this in real companies and give me feedback on how this is working. So anybody who can lend any suggestions for that would be super helpful. And I think, as I mentioned in my chat, I do a lot of user experience design work. So if anybody wants to just chat design or chat product and needs a little bit of free advice and something, just send me an email. Happy to help anybody who's in that area is where I can be most useful.
All right. So I know I don't have anything else personally, so I think you're our last presenter. So I'm just going to pull up our last part of the presentation, if I can find it. There we are. All right. So we're pretty much here at the end of our meeting today. I don't have too much to say here. I think I want to thank you guys, first of all, just for being here. I know I was subbing in for Micah, so I think he's missed out on some some great people here today, as well along with Q, who's I know has been talking with all of you guys, coordinating, making sure that you guys were coming here today. But in their stead, I want to thank you guys for being here. And thank you for having me. I know I'm a little bit more inexperienced with running this. So thanks for being patient. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So I'll keep the room open if there's any questions for any of the presenters here today. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys.
Thank you, Zach.
Well, you did
Ooh,
a good job, Zachary.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Have a great night.
Have a good night.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
Okay, see y'all.
Bye, guys.